What is so lovely about this whole thing is Philip's vision in the Australian bush to create this building which has no function other than to be a place where people can come, maybe look at the bush and a beautiful lake in front, which could be a Monet's Giverny. Then put a fresco which has, we can't sell it.
Well, the Murrah has been a very, very special place for the Cox family. We bought it around 40 years ago. We bought it for conservation purposes in a place where it would be very much our spiritual home down here and a place where we as a family would always congregate. And it's been very much a gathering place to come here and relax and communicate with the sea and the wonderful forests that we have around here.
Well, I've known Philip for about 60 years and we went to the same school, and he's an architect, I'm an artist, and it's taken all this time to, well, we're doing something together.
He offered to do a fresco in the dining room, and I said no. I mean, I like the brickwork there, and I don't want artwork on it. I said, but what about if we build a pavilion, and we have a correct setting for a fresco?
I didn't know what I was doing when I got here. I just thought, I'll just contemplate the wall, just sit here, and I sit on this thing here in the morning. This is my meditation place, and I go like that. And I just sit there and shut my eyes. And then I kind of just open myself, and I just went to it and just started drawing it with charcoal, just loosely, whatever came. I've never done well, not really, I haven't done a painting like this before. I came across this little bird, and that's a sacred blue kingfisher. And it's a very special bird because it died on the day we started. I know it has some spiritual significance, this bird. It's not called sacred for nothing. When I did the first figure, it was a kind of Christ-like figure. I had a bird in his hand, and then I thought, no, it's got to be this bird. It almost kind of honours it dying. It might have hit a window, I think. I'm not sure how it died.
Can you see he's there? I mean, he's underneath, there's his hands, there's his arm.
Yeah, I'll get onto that right now.
Okay. Well, we've still got a bit of time if I see on that one.
I met Mark, who plays tennis with us. That's his job, doing this decoration and building.
Yesterday we put down the first layer of the intonaco, which is the line putty. And today we're just building up the cartoon features, ready for the giornata, which is the day's work. It will basically cover the cartoon. It'll be faintly visible below. It's approximately 2 to 3 mils thick. And then after about half an hour, Gary's going to start working on it while it's still wet. And that'll run through 2, 3, 4 hours, depending on the weather, the humidity. There's a lot of things happening, and it's a very fast process. And there's really no room for error. I'll stroke the fingers out in a minute.
Can I go for it now?
Yep.
Beauty. And then we've got this golden couple of hours in which the past is still damp. What the painting is about now is the world, as I see it. It's in a period of crisis and change, and this is a symbolic representation of that.
Well, I've known Garry since childhood, so we went to school together and all the rest of it, and I've always had a great veneration for his extraordinary ability, his visual ability.
You gave free rein, really,
Yeah, absolutely free rein.
which was really wonderful.
Every likes.
That was really amazing to do that.
I'm still wondering what the sack of Rome has got to do with the Murrah.
That's not Rome, that's one of the minor, that's Florence.
Yeah. I must admit that the actual quality of the fresco is marvellous.
Oh, the technique?
Yeah,
Isn't it beautiful?
Not technique, but the chalkiness.
I know.
It's incredible. You don't get that with oil, or you don't get it with
gouache
or
any of those.
I mean, it really is. It's sort of. It's very hard to describe in words.
And you can go
permanence, and yes,
that's right.
It's an inevitability that comes with pasta.
Yeah. And it's kind of tactile. You can go up. And, it's going to be beautiful when it's kind of dry.
I hope not too many people do that, Garry, with their sticky little fingers.
What do you think, Mark, about that?
Isn't it going to have a big red rope around with red gold?
A brass rail around it, and with kneeling
Electrified
pads in front of it, so you can.
That's right.
You can make a confession or something like that in front of it. You can say, "I'm giving up the booze forever," or "I'm giving up something or other."
I've just taken it
okay,
here
go
across.
down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, go down.
Top of the flames.
Yeah, right down over the flames.
My background is as a decorative artist. I do quite a lot of work with Italian plasters on walls, interior and exterior. The brief is huge. It can be gilding, it can be one of the painted finishes, the tortoiseshell, malachite, any of the precious stones. It can be on furniture, it can be on walls, ceilings, staining. It's a huge area, and I've covered an awful lot over the years. And this was something that I discovered in early 80s. And then I went to Italy and learned how to do it and use the materials. It's powdered marble. That's the principal constituent. It's the best, it's the purest, the whitest. The uniqueness is the pigments being bound into the lime putty as it's drying, carbonising and becoming locked in to the actual grains, and gives this wonderful matte luminosity that is typical to frescoes.
What's it all mean?
That's going to need another wall in itself.
Why does one paint? Well, I know if I don't paint, I'm very unhappy. And sometimes I can't paint. And, we all go through periods when there's no inspiration. So when the inspiration comes, I feel that's what I'm here for, that's what I'm supposed to be doing down here on Earth. I'm 70 now. It took me a long time to find my way of, or my imagination, or whatever it is, my impression of the world itself, or living. And it's just so natural to me now. I can just do it with my eyes shut, these figures. They're just kind of alive. I don't even know what I'm going to draw. I just draw it, and it comes out. I was 50 before I really found myself. It was when I moved to Bundina, down there. That's near Sydney. It's a similar kind of place to this. It's on the water. I found the subject to do, and that was D.H. Lawrence, who came to Australia in 1922 and wrote Kangaroo, and he stayed just a bit further down the coast for 6 weeks with his wife and wrote Kangaroo. And I just had this connection. It was through him that I found myself and did this series of paintings on Kangaroo. Great story, that book. It's like being hit by Cassius Clay or something.
Should we make a little nest for it?
Yeah.
It flew straight through the window.
You hold it.
Oh, it's coming to life. He likes you. He likes you. Where did you learn bird humming?
Never before have I done this. But look.
You've sung it back to life. You've sung it back to life.
Turn off that noise.
You've got a friend for life.
Well, he's possibly he'll survive.
Maybe like an Anzac biscuit.
I was actually wondering a few grains of sugar or a bit of Anzac biscuit or a bit of water.
Bit of Earl Grey.
That's right. Good.
You're taking on from here up with the
Yes,
fire
go up
into
somewhere,
there?
into some, I don't, not quite sure where, but
Okay, so I'll bring
yeah.
the
maybe the
putty down.
off. Made a few changes, added wings to the angel, and I've turned her into into Rose. She looks more like Rose now.
Yes, she does.
Rose is going to be happy about that.
Very happy.
And who's Rose?
That's my. She's my wife. She's really my muse, and well, we're very close. And I put her up there. Our story is even in here. This is the dark side of what's happening. I want a big contrast to that light side over there, which is kind of, you know, like everything better, good. I don't know where it all came from, but I think for me this is where civilization is right today, now. It's all in chaos, you know, things are collapsing, structures, religions, everything. And we're at the kind of tipping point. Amazing time to be in history right now. And that's a reflection of that. My painting is a reflection of that, my take on it.
It's become a much more serious work, and I thought it was going to be more lyrical and more, perhaps, more landscape oriented in its connotation. But knowing Garry that the the metaphor is very, very important to Garry, and the allegory to classical reference of satyrs and menotas and all the rest of it have become very much a part of that vocabulary. And there is, almost like the pre-Raphaelites, there's very much a storytelling in the work that he's done. So you can read any sort of literary work into it, which I think is magnificent. That there is no one story to tell. Not only is it a visual interpretation of the quality of fresco and this wonderful chalky quality that Michelangelo and the rest of the great Renaissance fresco painters created, but in this work he's got not only that quality, but he's got the story. And I suppose it does harken back to the Sistine in one way. There was Michelangelo telling the great biblical stories of the creation and Christianity, and here we've gone positively pagan, which is rather nice, and it seems to relate back again to Spirit of Place of what the bush is saying, even though it's got a classical interpretation in terms of its imagery.
When you start, you kind of get something that's just on the edge of conscious or the unconscious almost, but you feel something there. So you do that, and then it starts to. You can start to go further and find the meaning or what it really is. But it's like you have to go in there and find it. It's not. You don't see the whole thing at the beginning. It's just vague. When I started, I thought I definitely see fire here, and this Christ figure is coming out of the fire, and then the Christ figure kind of becomes more of a Bacchus, so it becomes pagan. Then in the fire, these figures start to appear. So the fire isn't kind of something that just devours, but it's the source of a creation as well. And in the centre of the fire is this woman. That was something that I didn't know what was going to happen there. 2013. Mark, come and sign.
I can't sign.
Yes, you can.
Oh, no, it's your picture. It's nothing to do with me. I'm just assistant.
What about that? You can do that. Is that all right? It's lovely to see now, I can say it's a whole thing. It's as mad as it is. That's what I was feeling when I started, something like that. And I think it's, I'm very happy. Yeah.